we got to get tough on this crime. People are fed up, and I'm wishing all the best for our friend in Lindsay. I don't know who it was, but people are at their peak with this violence. I mean, with the violence.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Lindsay, Ontario, and I have returned to the scene of the crime. However, if you ask the Kawartha Lakes Police Service, it's not crime, it's crimes plural, because you might have heard about this story. It's getting international recognition for all the wrong reasons. We go back to August 18th at 3:20 in the morning, and the apartment owned by Jeremy McDonald, 44, was broken into by Mike Breen, 41. And Breen was allegedly carrying a lethal force weapon with him. That would be a crossbow. Now, what happened in the minutes ahead when McDonald woke up and went into the kitchen and turned his cell phone on? This is when allegedly Breen saw him because of the illumination from the cell phone and attacked McDonald, allegedly using his crossbow stock as a battering ram, hitting McDonald square on. And for fighting back, well, and boy, did Jeremy fight back, because Breen certainly got the worst of it. He had to be airlifted to Toronto Sunnybrook Hospital. But here's the thing. The police in the aftermath charged McDonald for having the temerity to defend himself and his property with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. As for Breen, he faced 4 charges: possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, breaking and entering and theft, mischief under $5,000, and failed to comply prohibition. Yeah, that's right. He had already broken his prohibition. He was a wanted man. In other words, if he was behind bars, this sordid incident would never have happened. But you know what's amazing? If it is indeed accurate that Breen attacked McDonald, well, why isn't he being charged with aggravated assault? And why isn't he being charged with assault with a weapon? Does that make sense to you folks? It sure doesn't make sense to me. Now, I can tell you, when we came here last week seeking answers, we paid a visit to the Kawartha Lakes Police Service headquarters. That's the building right behind me. And you can see our fantastic Jumbotron-equipped truck is here, spreading the message that this is an outrageous miscarriage of justice. Well, we did go in to the police headquarters, and well, here's what they had to say.
Is the chief is saying you have the right to defend yourself, but we're just trying to find out what the line is, because in the case of Mr. McDonald, he did defend himself and he's got 2 serious criminal charges.
Okay, the occurrence is under investigation. We can't release anything with regards to the investigation.
Right.
We can't let you know how severe or how non-severe the response was.
Let's just say we're talking in general terms.
We can't talk in general.
You can talk in general.
No, I can't, because every situation is different. The officers have done what they needed to do.
Okay.
They have reacted accordingly.
All right.
Okay, and it's under investigation.
Can I ask you, I mean, there's also a transparency issue. The name of the offender, I think we know who it is, but it wasn't released. He's not a young offender. So why would that be kept secret, ma'am?
We'll have to speak with the chief or the staff sergeant.
Okay, that's exactly why I'm here.
And neither of them are here today.
Yeah, so maybe one of the biggest stories to hit Lindsay in a decade, and nobody, including the chief, Kirk Robertson, is available to speak to us. Because you know what? In this bustling little town, there's a lot of parking tickets to write. You see, folks? It is an absolute outrage that this has occurred, and we're not standing for it. So I want you to do 2 things, if you could, please, folks. First of all, sign our petition, castlelawnow.com. That's castlelawnow.com. We need stronger castle laws in this country. I mean, it was a little rich wasn't it, when Doug Ford weighed into this matter last week and said it was an outrage. You know what, Doug? You know what the outrage is? That you're not doing anything to protect Ontarians. You're not doing anything to reform the Castle Law provisions that so desperately need to be reformed.
Did everyone hear about the story in Lindsay? So this criminal that's wanted by the police breaks into this guy's house. This guy gives him a beating, and this guy gets charged. And the other guy gets charged. But something is broken. I know if someone breaks into my house or someone else's, you're going to fight for your life. This guy has a weapon. You're going to use any force you possibly can to protect your family. I'm telling you, I know everyone would. I'd be scared to break into Kevon's house. Look at this. He's like a linebacker. He'd beat the living crap out of the guy, as he should. Because enough's enough here. Violence and breaking into people's homes, putting guns to their heads. And guess what? Some bleeding heart judge, little Johnny, he didn't have a good upbringing. So we're going to let him out on bail 5 more times because he's on his 5th, being let out on bail 5 times, just to go do the same thing the next day. I'll tell you one thing. I get more calls than anyone in the country. People are done with this. They're absolutely done. They're finished. You should be able to protect your family. When someone's going in there to harm your family and your kids, you should use all resources you possibly can to protect your family. And maybe these criminals will think twice about breaking into someone's home.
And secondly, what can I tell you about Jeremy McDonald? From everyone we've spoken to, folks, he's a hard-working man, spotless record, pays his taxes. He can't afford to defend himself.
Now, the judges keep letting people out on bail. So we're going to hold these guys accountable. And I will be all over the Prime Minister about bail reform.
This case could go into the 6 figures. We are not going to hang Jeremy McDonald out to dry. So please go to this website, savejeremy.com. That's savejeremy.com. He deserves a helping hand because the system is out to crucify him. And I got to tell you, speaking of Police Chief Kirk Robertson, it was pathetic, the news release they issued on August 20th last week. It was essentially, oh, come on, leave us alone. We're getting all these nasty comments. Chief, there is such a thing as officer's discretion. You did not have to charge Jeremy McDonald, but your officers chose to. Secondly, I thought it was outrageously condescending when you said in your media release, a criminal charge is not a conviction. Yeah, no kidding. As I mentioned earlier, the process is the penalty. Jeremy McDonald is now going to have a lot of his life consumed and spend a lot of money to clear his name. So please, Chief, do the right thing if you can. Can you withdraw these outrageous charges? Since our stories ran, folks, we have had literally thousands and thousands of comments. And I'm telling you, 99.9% of the comments are in support of Jeremy McDonald. All right? I think the 0.1% that disagree, those are liberals living in gated communities with security guards. They're detached from reality. They don't have to live in the streets where the gangbangers and the drug addicts run free because of liberal hug-a-thug policies. So in any event, please, again, if you can, even if it's a few bucks, go to savejeremy.com. That's savejeremy.com. It's one thing to be victimized by a serial criminal drug addict. It's another thing to be victimized by the system. Hey folks, we have returned to Little Lindsay, Ontario to, seek justice. First of all, can you do me a favor? Go to castlelawnow.com. castlelawnow.com. Sign the petition. Let's send a message to Premier Doug Ford that his crocodile tears about this heinous home invasion is not enough. We need strong castle laws in this province. Secondly, Jeremy McDonald, the victim, the man being prosecuted for having the temerity to try to save his life? No, we're not going to let that stand. If you can, go to savejeremy.com. That's savejeremy.com. Jeremy is not a man of means. He needs our help. His legal bills could be in the 5 figures or even 6 figures. We're going to help him crowdfund. We're going to help him have a great lawyer to go to bat for him. Let's not allow the process to be the penalty.